Hi again. We're live from the Facebook Live Cube at the Move It Dial Summit 2019, and we're lucky to have Marina Harris, the new Chief People Officer for the beloved fintech here in Toronto, Wealthsimple.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How's it been kind of coming back to Canada and sort of getting settled here again?
Yeah, it feels like home. I've been away for 20 years and in California, but Toronto's always been home, so it feels incredible and energizing to see how the tech community and the fintech space has grown here, and it's wonderful to be a part of it.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And so, I mean, now you're kind of have this really unique perspective. So what, you were here, you left, you come back. What do you, I don't know, from an initial take, what do you think are the biggest sort of differences that you're seeing between the US tech ecosystem and Canadian tech right now? I mean, besides scale and all those kind of things, but
it's funny you say that, because I think scale is one of the bigger differences, but we're wrestling with the same issues.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like most tech that I've been a part of, very naturally leans to the very quantitative side of diversity and inclusion, and just looks at the numbers and wants to make a difference with all best intention, but hasn't spent enough time looking at the aspects around inclusion and some of the systemic things. And I think it's the same things that I'm seeing in the Toronto community, right? And so there's this deep commitment to wanting to make it better, and I think we're just getting started with the investment. So
like shifting people away from running with aggregate data sets and solutioning based on that.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So what do you want to shake up at Wealthsimple? Like, what do you really want to, what kind of difference do you want to make, or what lessons do you want to kind of grow here?
Yeah, I think for me with Wealthsimple, I want to take the lessons that I learned, quite frankly, in my 5 years at Netflix, where, similar to what I was saying, we led with the diversity numbers. We wanted to start moving the needle and moving the dial and seeing the difference that we were making. And we didn't really start making progress, quite honestly, in our representation until we started really seeing the value of inclusion and letting everybody know that was something as a company we were going to hold ourselves accountable to. And we we're going to do it because it's the right thing, and we were going to do it because it made sense for the business.
Yeah.
And when people saw that value, and they saw that embracing diversity was actually adding value to them, and the work that they were doing, the quality of their thinking was being enriched, that's when we really started tipping the scale. And so for me with Wealthsimple, I think it's going to be that same purpose, like really having that shared sense of like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And I think that's how we'll have the sustained momentum towards diversity and inclusion.
So what do you see as, I guess, like the biggest challenges to sort of getting that to start moving?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it is the systemic. Like we have mental models about what leadership looks like. We have mental models around what an engineer looks like. And I think some of it is just so implicit, people don't even realize that that's happening for them. And so it's breaking that down. And so it's a lot of personal work to start. And then thinking about the way that shows up in a team environment for the company, the decisions that we're making, how we're interacting with each other. And so I think that holds us back sometimes, because we all say we have great intent, but doing that deep work means that the intention matters to a point, and then you've got to really show up a different way.
Yeah. So do you, in your sort of depth and breadth of experience, do you have a way of starting someone down that path when you know that you need to sort of help them unpack and unlearn and evolve? Like, do you have, I don't know, I guess tips or tricks for folks who are sort of at that same stage?
Sure. Something that, at least I'll share what resonated with me when I first started going down the journey of educating myself around the space. And I read Chimamanda Adichie's The Danger of a Single Story, and I started realizing, I take shorthand when I meet people.
Right.
I think there's a connection. I look for the commonality in us, but I don't see the full person sometimes, right? And with, again, the best intentions, but there's no way that I can understand someone's experience without really seeking to learn it genuinely and investing and not falling into that trap of making assumption of each other. And so I think that's a powerful piece that I encourage everyone to start with, because it starts shifting some of those mental models that are ingrained.
Well, I mean, we have you in the playbook chatting about that as a good piece too. So yeah, absolutely. Cool. And she's wonderful. She's such a brilliant author, right? Yeah,
incredible.
Maybe we can get her here.
There you go.
That would be great.
That would be fabulous.
Yeah. And what do you hope to see of Canadian tech next 5 years, 10 years? Like, what would be the big idea?
The big idea in tech. Gosh, I think we need to question fundamentally the way that we build products. Like, what is it we're building? Who are we building it for? I think that's at its core.
Yeah.
And when you start realizing that, that's when the power comes in of bringing in all those diverse perspectives. And so I'd really love us to lead our product development, our innovative ideas with that in mind. I think that will make a tremendous difference.
Yeah, so thank you so much for chatting.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Again, we have, a fairly newly minted Chief People Officer to the Canadian tech ecosystem, one of the leaders with Wealthsimple, Marina. So thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.